What's up, guys? Welcome to an episode of Bevarse Batch, where we're going to be discussing Tillu Squared, the newest Sidhu Janlagadda film. We have a lot of people here today with us. We have some returning members, some familiar faces, but also a brand new guest, Anis. I'll give you a second to introduce yourself, Anis. Go ahead.
Oh, Nicole,
Hey guys, I'm
can you
Anise.
stop? You won't
I
shut
was here
up.
like 2 years ago though.
Yeah, we've
What
had
was
Anise on
that?
before.
Oh,
We've had her on.
that wasn't when I was on the host.
Yeah. So you can
Awkward.
reintroduce yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was here like a couple years ago. Nice to meet you guys again.
Wait, do we start recording?
Oh my God.
Yes,
We got to kick
bro.
this guy off
I
now.
thought he just introduced himself and for fun. Yeah. Okay. We have okay for our non-video viewers. We have everyone here. We have Anise. We have Nakul. We have Gautam returning, and we have my brother, and we have Sai Aburi, and then Sai Kata, and then Avinav. So we have one, two, three, four. Yeah, we have a ton of people. So we'll go one by one, and we'll talk about what we liked now, right?
Yeah, what we liked. We'll talk
Actually,
about.
everyone just give a sentence about what they thought of the movie before we jump into positives.
Yeah, that's good.
Uh, okay, I liked this movie. I think it fell short of meeting how good the first one was, and I didn't like the ending, last act. So that's my one sentence.
I like the movie a lot. I think it matches the first one. Not like exactly, but it's like up there with the first one. But the first one does have a slight edge over it. I thought the second half was a lot better than the first half. But yeah, overall, like I love the movie. Dude, can you unmute at least, Nicole, before you start
Yeah,
talking?
can you share what Sodi you're telling him? You go next.
Yeah,
You're in
you're next
trouble.
now. Go.
Yeah, we're the teachers and you're in trouble. Dude, unmute yourself. This is a
Unmute,
podcast. Why are
bro.
you saying?
No, I have enough to go.
Oh my
So
God.
I need him to
Okay,
go.
Avi, go. Yeah, as a co-host, you deserve to go.
So I actually really love the movie.
Okay.
Um I would say it lives up to the first movie. Um but yeah, we'll get into it more. But I think the second half, up until the ending sequence, was probably, you could say, better than the most of the first movie. So I think because of that, I think it's basically on par with the first.
You think the second half is better than like the movie's second half or the entire
Yeah.
first movie?
So I think the movie's second half, up until like basically when Morley Sharma has him on the ground and he points
Hmm.
the gun. Up until that point, I think it's elite level, and you can compare it to even being better than the first movie. So yeah.
Okay.
Wow, that was very eye-opening. Thank you. Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Mahabirawana sexy. Swallow. You're my
Oh my
inspiration.
Alright.
So that's
Dude,
your review
can
of the
someone
movie?
else share their fucking we have 8 people here, no one's sharing their thoughts on the movie.
This dude hasn't shared his thoughts but said some crazy dialogue and then mutes himself again.
Yeah. Gautam hasn't even talked. Gautam, did you like the movie?
I like the movie. In a single line, it's a good movie, and I think it's a good sequel, a strong sequel. Yeah.
I second that.
Dude, why
Nice
are
and
you here?
Sai.
All right, I thought the movie was all right.
Oh my God.
I think it was that. I mean, it was good.
Get out of here.
It was like a good sequel, but I think my expectations were like way too high. Maybe, I don't know. Or it's just mid.
Amazing.
Wait, Ankit, you haven't gone, right? Go ahead. And say your line. Your first thing.
So I think I like the movie. So like the rest of the people, I don't think that I think some people like liked it much more, but I think I liked the movie less than the first movie. But I still think that the movie is still a good success, good successful sequel.
Well, yeah, I think it's a
What
good
is going
sequel,
on?
but
Nothing. I just saw Nicole's face when he started dying, and I started laughing too.
Dude, along with muting, I think you have to turn your camera
Yeah,
off
can
also.
you turn your camera off for a second, bro? Like when somebody else is talking.
Oh, I'm just laughing at what Gotham said the second Aburi started talking. Second Aburi started talking, and the first thing he said, and the first thing he said was, "Yeah, I think the movie was all right." And Gotham immediately goes,
I was like, are you high right now?
Dude.
but he also
Dude,
said it.
we
He
have
also
to
said it
we
in
have
Telugu.
we have to
He
respect
didn't say it in
opinions
English,
on the show.
huh?
Dude, I can't take criticism from the dude who put fucking Student Number One as the best movie. Like, you have no say in anything.
Oh, still,
But
but just the way Gotham ended up asking, he was like, "Anta ganja కొట్టాడు Jana Mundo." I was like, he said that. That's why I started dying. The second
um
Aburi spoke.
so I guess we can talk about the positives. I'll start.
Wait, did Nice go? I think, right? Or-
Oh shit, I'm so sorry.
Oh
I was
wow. I
very happy
forgot.
to be skipped
We're
over.
such bad guys. We're such bad hosts.
No.
Yeah, Avi, you're the
Go ahead,
worst.
Abby.
How'd you let this happen?
I like this movie a lot more than the first DJ Toulouse film, actually. I like that they referenced to that a lot, but I like the first part, the half of this movie, than the second half. I felt like they lost their plot at some point. We can go into that later.
And you watched in India, correct?
Yes, sir.
So was the
I am
crowd
the international representation.
was the
Yeah, the
crowd
crowd was
crazy?
really good. It was
Yeah.
crazy.
I think that also influences your viewing experience because like especially in our theater, me and Ankit had a really full theater and everyone was just people were singing the DJ Tillu title song because they played it again, right? Like, people were singing it and then people were saying like people were talking about the dialogues. But I think my biggest positive was Sidhu. Um, in the second movie, I talked in our non-spoiler. They didn't use some characters that much. I thought they'd use Shannon more. I love Shannon. I think he's hilarious. Sidhu's dad was it could have been in the movie longer, but Sidhu carried the movie. But I just hope he doesn't get typecasted in this role. He's talking about Tillu 3 and 4 and 5, and I just want to see him do something different. But yeah, one man show, and he's as good as he is in the first one. So if you like his character, it's worth the money.
Yeah, I agree with his character. I think he does like that Tillu role really well. It's just it depends on like the next two, three movies, what the rest of the cast is doing, and I guess the storyline. Because you know that Sidhu will always like deliver, but it just depends on the rest of the movie if it's good or not.
Yeah, like my positives are definitely Sidhu. I think he's the biggest plus point of the movie. The first one, it did run on him a lot, obviously, but I think this one even more so. I think he was the primary source of all entertainment in this one. Obviously, there his side characters like his dad and everyone like had some good lines too, but he really carried the film. Yeah, I like the story of this one. I comparing to the first one, I think it's on like similar level. If you look at the pure screenplay like story aspect. So I think the story is also positive. Like it was an entertaining like story to like follow along with entertainment. So yeah, I think those are my positives. And then the songs are also pretty hype. Like I think the Radhika song is like a banger. But yeah, like they could have done better with the remix version of the title song. They like did some like different like lyrics or something with it, but I don't think it worked as well in the remix version as the original. But yeah, overall like those are my positives. Who wants to
Why are
go
you
next?
guys all so quiet today?
Yeah.
All right.
Abi, Abi and Aburi, why aren't you guys not?
I'll
Why aren't
go.
you
I'll
talking
go.
anymore?
Nah, so
You got
basically, I
two
thought it was a
different sides
good.
of the coin. He loves it, and you think it's all right. So I want to see a debate. Yeah.
Yeah, so I thought it was a good sequel. So like, I mean, it wasn't a bad movie. Um, I just think that like for me at least, like I said, I think I went in with like too many expectations. So I remember like going in before the movie, like I think Akil and Ankit said they liked the first half more, and Kata said that he liked the second half more. And like during the first half, I was like, all right, maybe like I'm on Kata's side. Maybe like the second half is gonna be a little bit better. But then I got to the second half and I didn't even like that. So it was like, I mean, especially the ending. So I don't know. I mean, like we can go in depth into all of that stuff, but I feel like overall, like there were like funny moments. I'm not gonna say like it was like a horrible movie. It was still good, like good sequel. There's been so many other movies which followed up like an original, like way worse, and this one was like pretty good. And I did like some aspects in the first half, like where they referenced the first movie, but like some of the twists and stuff, they just didn't hit for me, I guess.
Dude, it was like an ETV serial the last 20 minutes. They kept putting a twist and twist and twist and twist. I was like, dude, can you fucking relax? Like half of these twists don't even make sense. Like the boss being they made the boss look like a bad guy and then he's a good guy again.
Yeah. The
That's
songs
that
were good though.
songs were
He was
good.
a red herring.
Yeah, I actually
They
had
get
the opposite like thing when it comes to Buri because he had like really high expectations. I think like because he watched the review and stuff, but when I watched the movie, I already had low expectations because I've seen a lot of sequels that like keep trying to emulate what the first one did and like are worse and everything. So I thought, okay, this movie's probably gonna be okay, like not that great. And I saw the trailer teaser, wasn't really impressed. But then I went into it and I said, oh, you know what, this is actually a good movie. So I think if I had higher expectations like you did, Aburi, I probably would have felt the same way as you.
yeah. I what's it called? Abby, what did you like?
Yeah, so I saw
You
this
had a
movie.
nice
So I when you guys told me it was like your thoughts about it, I didn't want to get too hyped, so I went in with, lower expectations, knowing that this is a sequel, and sequels, don't really necessarily pan out always. So because of that, like it started off slow, the first 20 to 30 minutes. It's kind of just a catch up, a refresher of the first. Um, but it kind of picks up after the whole him and Lily, the whole fake pregnancy or the pregnancy thing and all that. So, but after that, it starts to pick up. You see his his one-liners come in, and then the second half, what I really liked is he has he just says a bunch of jokes in series, and what happens is you're still laughing at the first sentence, and then the next two sentences he says it's just like more funnier. So it's a continuous, laughing session throughout the second half, which I really enjoyed. Because like you're still catching up and you're still, processing that first sentence, but then it's like it keeps going through. So like he has a lot of those, and yeah, I think some just him, the characterization of his dad, his mom, Marcus was pretty funny as well in this. So I think yeah, side characters did well, and I just really enjoyed like his character. Like he took a step above the first movie. So in terms of just his delivery in his presence, so I would say mostly that.
dude, that was like poetry in motion.
That was
I was
crazy.
it just kept going. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Like yeah. I don't know. I don't even know what to say. That was so I'm like crying or tear in my and Nicole's crying too. Wow.
For other
I
reasons.
agree. I think you bring up a good point because he says like 10 jokes in a row. Even
Yeah,
if five of those you don't find funny, you're gonna laugh for at least like two or three. The
exactly.
pure frequency, like the script, he literally says like 15 dialogues at once. And
Yeah,
it's like even if some of the jokes don't work, some of them
yeah,
will. So you'll laugh in every scene. I don't
exactly.
know how they work like
Your
that.
percent of a joke hitting increases as you talk, as you ramble on. So that's what it worked for him in this movie. Like so, um,
Dude, I low-key think the dad is better in the first movie.
I love the dad. Dude, I don't even think he's acting. I think
Right.
that's just who he is. Because we saw him in like Bhagwan Kesari, and then he was wearing a suit. He was like a minister, and he was just talking in his accent, and I was like, no one believes you're a minister. But yeah, Anis, like, what did you saw in India? Like, what was the part your theater laughed to the most? Like the funniest part in the whole movie?
I think every time they reference to the first movie, DJ Tillu, I think they did a really good job with editing the film. They kept it like fast paced. And so like he said with how quick the dialogues were coming at us, like you would have to laugh at one point. Or like within that like 1 minute span you'd laugh and like the theater would continue laughing. And I feel like the movie is kind of relatable. Like everybody is like a little Bevarse, kind of DJ Tillu style. So
Yeah, last year Nicole also got tracked down by an FBI agent. He thought he had a kid and everything on the way too.
I was like, how is it
I
relatable? How many
yeah,
stories are you saying?
you lost me on
Wait,
that
what?
one.
No, what? No,
Did you
you guys
get
don't
baby
relate
trapped
to
by
him.
like a FBI agent recently? Like what's
No, like his like dialogues and his dad hating on him.
oh in that
You don't think
sense?
that's
Yeah.
relatable at all?
No, I think that's true.
Do you think it's true? Honestly?
When I think it's true, it's relatable, but the way his responses are not relatable. Like, remember how he tells him his dad tells him to get out the house, and then he just like, oh, where should I go? It's like it's very just like no thinking in his responses, and that's something. I mean, some people can relate to, some people can't. So I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
my
movie.
family question different.
Yeah, no. I think most people can agree with you. I was just surprised Avi agreed. Can't even
I'm
keep it straight.
surprised at a lot of things Avi's doing right now. This is
Dude, he's like the upper Chituru, like other Rupam. He's like
I
Remo.
know.
Bro, one thing about the dad though, I'll say, I feel like like in the first movie, I feel like he was more like a dad. Like, he had more power in my opinion. I feel like in this movie they just kind of like relegated him to just being like a straight up comedian. Like just like
Dude,
like
in this movie,
relying
he also
on
just gave up.
Pillu
I
and
feel like in
stuff.
this movie, his mindset is just like, I give up. Like,
Yeah,
I
like
ain't
he's
doing
just
this.
like pretty much just like
Just do you.
relying on Tillu now. He's not like the like the powerful in quotes, like powerful father figure or whatever, like who's always hating on his kid. I feel like that was funnier in the
Tillu has
first
money
movie.
though.
But like he did have better like one-liners in this movie, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
I mean, it's really funny, when Tillo is like talking, I'm an FBI agent and everything, and his father is like,
Oh, in the car. Yeah,
in
yeah.
Yeah,
the
that scene
car.
was
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite scenes. That one
I
and
love the
నిన్న రాత్రి ఏం తాగినావు నాయన రా తాగితే రా ఏజెంట్ లవర్ నాయన
Dude, how do you remember these? You're crazy.
Dude, he was
What?
itching for he was itching for the crowd. He was
కాదు అది కార్
చెప్పు.
కార్తీది ఒక సినిమా ఉంటది దాంట్లో ఏదో డైలాగ్ ఉంటది మీరు మల్టీప్లెక్స్ కలిసి సినిమా చూస్తే ఏముంది విజిల్స్ ఏముండవు సింపుల్ గా కూర్చొని క్లాప్స్ కొడతారు అని చెప్పి డీజే టిల్లులో క్లాప్స్ కొడుతున్నారు థియేటర్ లో మేము వెళ్తే
They're clapping.
they were clapping in the theater for the jokes.
for the jokes.
Daridram. That's too much overaction. You have to whistle or laugh. Clapping into
No, this
it's
guy
not
also
like
had a crazy line basically written up for Anupama's entrance too.
Yeah.
Like, చెప్తా?
ఇంట్లో
dude,
ఇలా నేను
do I
కష్టం
have to edit it out in the final cut
No,
or
no,
like is it
no, I
appropriate
mean,
to say?
no, it's not that bad. No, it's not that bad. He was just gonna say Alam Bellam,
Anupama
Anupama na
Pellam.
Pellam. He was trying to scream
Wow.
that, right? But then the entire crowd was dead
Dead,
when
yeah.
Anupama was entering. So he's like, okay, I can't do this. All he did is just scream
Yeah.
saying,
I was actually missing Ankit while watching the movie. He gives me energy to feed off of.
Mm.
Yeah.
Wow,
I
what a
wanted
duo.
to scream when Radhika came on screen, but I didn't have you there either. So
No, he's lying because he literally screamed. He was next to me. The confidence to lie when I'm 2 feet away from him is insane. చూడు ఎలా అబద్ధం చెప్తున్నారు
I had you in
Today's
spirit.
youth.
The crowd was like too bad while watching Tillu Square.
and we're
Crowd
all
makes a
in
difference,
Ashburn,
dude.
so it's like a
No one
big,
was
like,
laughing for you guys.
Indian community.
it's a huge Indian community.
And నవ్వుతున్నారు. They were like barely like they were
It's not like
laughing. Ratchet కాదు. Laughing and clapping.
Oh,
అరుపులు విజిల్స్ ఏం లేవు.
high class muchachlo.
హై క్లాస్ అంతే.
The most entertaining thing that we saw that I heard at the crowd was even before like the movie started, when they have like the commercials and stuff, they end up having the people that sit right behind us. He ends up going up to like so there was like one guy ends up going to the guy right next to him, and he's like Indro, inka natar bole, and he's like and the other guy goes and the other guy goes and the other guy goes లేదు 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 లేదురా లేదు లేదురా ఇప్పుడే 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 అసలు లెగిసింది మళ్ళీ 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 వీళ్ళు ఇంకో 5 minutes లో సినిమా పెట్టకపోతే ఇంకా ఇంక నేను వెళ్ళిపోతా నేను భరించలేను and
Yeah, they were
he
like
said that, so it was like
40 minutes of ads.
there was some like crowd, I guess, like the crowd could be nasty, but they didn't, so that's why I was like, okay.
I mean, there were many families and చిన్న చిన్న పిల్లలతో వచ్చారు like 5-year-olds and 7-year-olds.
Yeah. You guys also went like Saturday, like a couple days after it came out.
Yeah.
So maybe all the family audience went on Saturday night.
I mean, you could tell like based off of like the initial interaction when I first heard shit like that, I was like, okay, it's probably gonna be like a hype nasty crowd, but no one fucking said a word. So I was like, okay, like it wasn't
The
like
main, my main problem with this movie, I told Sai this, Kata, but in the first one, there's so many strong characters, like Shannon, um, even like the Shavam, like Radhika's like boyfriend. Even he's funny. He doesn't even talk, but Kirti, right? What is his name?
Karthik.
Kiriti.
Okay,
So
yeah.
it's like Rohit, right?
Rohit, yeah, that's
Rohit,
It's
no,
Rohit, yeah.
his actor name. It's like something with a K.
Kiriti
Uh,
is his name, his
It's
real name.
Kiriti Damaraj.
Okay,
Yeah.
wow. I would never admit
How do
that,
you
by
know
the
the
way.
how do you guys know the side actor side actor? This guy
He
talks
was
about
in he was in Big
the entire
Boss.
movie.
Okay,
Huh?
I
He
didn't
was
know
in
him.
Big
This guy knew his
Boss.
biodata. I didn't know him. Okay, I just want to make that clear. Anyways, that dude, like
This is why
Brahmaji,
the podcast is called Bevarse Badge. We know like the side actor, and his like biodata.
dude,
Like,
Brahmaji
bro,
and all those, his dad, everyone in the first movie, especially in the second half, when Tillu gets memory loss, one of the funniest scenes is when his mom and his dad and the doctor,
oh,
Brahmaji,
like
they
where
all
he wears
start
like the pink
fighting.
gown and he's in the room.
Yep.
Yeah, he gets
They all
kidnapped.
start fighting. In this movie though, the problem is it's just Dillu. Shannon's in there for like 2 minutes. His dad's barely in there. Anupama is like doesn't really have comedic scope.
Why
Dillu just carries the
you
show,
say her
and I
name
don't know
like
why
that?
the fuck Murali Sharma has to be in every movie nowadays. I'm tired of seeing him, bro. Like,
In the
so
same like villain role too, like the boost
same
comedian
one,
villain role.
yeah. And no one, and then like the problem is there's no scope for side characters, and side characters generated so much fun in DJ Tillu. Like Brahmaji, like was so funny in the first movie, right? Even like the Shannon was hilarious, but they barely used them in this one, and that's why I was a little disappointed. Um, but
DJ
yeah, and we
Tillu
saw
one.
them too. Brahmaji Untadu for like 1 minute, and I was like, damn.
You see Brahmaji's shadow, not even his
No,
Oh,
they
you
actual.
see his face. You
the
see his face.
But
legit
it's like
shadow, and then he
blink
comes
and
to
miss
life.
role, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He has like one dialogue. That was it.
Tillu one has a strong story. Tulu ఏంటంటే it's all universal comedy. అందరికీ నచ్చిద్ది.
Two is just the two stories, literally just one. They use the same twists and plot and
yeah,
everything.
I feel like when they were writing the story for one, they just like let their creativity out, even though it's not like some crazy story or whatever. But this one, I feel like they just made the movie mainly for entertainment, which is not a bad thing, but I don't
Yeah.
know. It just didn't feel
Tulu,
like as natural for me.
in Tillu Square, the ending is not strong. The twist and everything. You don't have the
Yeah.
ending in it.
Yeah.
Dude, because it ended so intense, right? Like they were literally playing like very hardcore like rock Telugu music at the end. First one though, like he brings that Russian model back to meet Radhika, and there's like comedy. In this one, the last 20 minutes feel like you're watching like a Sujit movie, bro. There's like 900 twists, like some Run Raja Run Saho type shit. And then it's like it just ends kind of with Tillu upset. Like he's not even like comedy or like one last one liner go to Verdu, like he's just staring in pure anger that he got fooled. And my problem in Dende, first in one, he wasn't like that, right? He's very joke. He literally jokes about Radhika even in the second movie. So I was just so confused. I was like, when did his character get so serious? But that's the only part of the movie I like didn't like. Last 20 minutes kind of killed the vibe for me. But I'll let Anis and you and like Abby talk because I don't know what you three thought.
I mean,
Anis, go ahead
Tillu,
first.
you can go ahead.
No, you do. You were gonna say something.
I was not prepped for something, but yeah, I agree. I think the second like half, the last 20 minutes, it completely lost me.
Mhm.
Like especially like when that like higher officer guy like they tried to say that he was like evil, but then he wasn't. I don't know. That's kind of piggybacking off of Akil Venkat, whoever.
That's my first name.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, that dude, I can't take him seriously too. He's the same guy that said Churu, the Walter Viraya. You remember Avi? The Navy officer.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Um
The
he's
chief
the
police
twist
guy.
boss at the end. Yeah.
He's
He's
the dad
fat.
of the person in Pelli Chupu, like the he asks Priyadarshi what he's doing.
The
Asa
Oh
bookworm.
yeah,
main
yeah,
Asa.
yeah, yeah.
Nikanti. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, last 20 minutes, did they work for anyone? I'm just curious. Besides, like Avi, it didn't work for you either.
No, I think right after I told you right after Morley
Oh
Sherman
yeah.
on the ground. After that, it was like, yeah, like you said, it was too serious. But I like before that though. Like there's a lot of good comedy. Like when Neha Shetty comes, and the first question she asks is like, "Hello," and then he's like, "Such an atrocious question." It's like,
No, when he says his classic line of Nunazingan and he question now,
yeah,
like
exactly.
our theater exploded, dude.
Yeah,
That was a crazy line. I mean, that was a crazy bring back of the line.
yeah. So it was like a refresh of the first movie all at once. It kind of hit. So like that really hit for me. And there's like, yeah, dude, there was a good amount of oh, and then there's also the one where Radhika's telling him like, oh, if you die tomorrow, it'll be good. It's like become a beautiful memory. And then he's like, so there's like there's a good amount of like like scenes and parts through the second half that it just really I enjoyed it a lot because it's just like it kind of references the first, but it has its own like some it has some depth to it when he says it, and you kind of just the audience just loved that. So yeah.
I was
Yeah,
shocked
like
when
for me,
what's it called? He went to Murali Sharma and then like he got found out about his plot. And then immediately as soon as that happened, like it was a funny scene. And then the next scene was like sad music playing while he was getting beat up. I was like, what's going on? Like that was such a weird sh mood shift. And then the next scene was a comedy scene. I said, all right, they just tried to make it serious for like 2 seconds for no reason. And then yeah, I thought it was handled way too like seriously and like non-DJ Tilbu type in the last couple of minutes, like you guys were saying.
I mean, I feel like they had that aspect in the first one too, but in the first one it flowed a little better and it felt more natural. But with this one, like I feel like because like think about it, even in the first one, he was still getting beat up by like Shannon's people or like all those people that ended up pulling up to the hotel when Radhika dipped, and they had the fighting and everything too, and it was all serious. He talked about it to the court and stuff. But then in the second one, they tried to incorporate the same thing, but it wasn't as smooth, I guess.
And Tillu one has a elongated climax. ముందు మెమరీ లాస్ ఉంటుంది, తర్వాత జైల్ సీన్ ఉంటుంది, లాస్ట్కి రాదు కాదు. ఇక డైరెక్ట్ స్కిప్ నీకు దెబ్బలు తగిలాక ఇంకా పోర్ట్కి వెళ్ళిపోతారు కాకినాడ అనుపమ విలన్ అనేది
Yeah.
వస్తుంది.
Yeah.
You don't have a proper structure over there.
yeah, and even also the first one, like we said before too, it ends on a comedic note. So I think even if they kept everything as is in Tillu 2, but if they ended on a comedic note, I think it would have been a lot better. Like just at least one last scene of him being clowny and then end the movie.
What
I think
was the
that would have
last
been.
scene?
Last scene was him saying something to Anupama, saying like, yeah, I gave you up, or I'm not gonna bring you out of jail because you fooled me from the start. Like a serious dialogue, and then it ends right after that.
Yeah.
He's
I didn't
walking away
understand.
smoking a cigarette and there's
Yeah.
blasting music away. There's
Yeah.
no even like end. It ends like some action movie ending for some reason.
Credits
Bro,
but
would you guys
comedy scene.
think they're leading it up to Tillo Cubed, where he's gonna be like a superhero, some shit?
Would you guys think of the characterization of like Radhika versus like the new one?
I told Sai this, but I don't think Neha Shetty is like a great actress. Neither is like I don't think I've seen her or Anupama have a role with scope in my life. That's not their fault. I don't think I've seen either of them act. But that character they created, like Lily can't match her. Like literally, the tiger has come out to play.
No,
Like
agreed.
Yeah.
she's unmatched. Her
Yeah.
screen presence, she doesn't even talk, but the energy her and Tillu have, her and Sidhu have, like Anupama couldn't even reach 10% of that, and that's what
That's what
made.
I was gonna say. Like their chemistry is insane. Like whenever, like as soon as Radhika comes on screen and like they start interacting again, it just like brings you back to the OG movie, like the scenes they had in there. And like I never felt that between him and Anupama. Like they tried really hard in the beginning to like build that chemistry between them, but for me like it didn't work.
Bro, also in the first movie, you could tell that Radhika was cat, like from a pretty like for a lot of the movie, you could tell like, oh, like why is she like involving him in this like murder? Like why is she making him do all this stuff, like burying the body and all that stuff? But I feel like I didn't feel that hate towards like Anupama's character like throughout the whole movie actually, and like they kind of revealed at the end that she was kind of bad, but or she, like for most of the second movie, they kind of just made it seem like she was just putting him in a difficult spot, like by making him do like this like investigation or whatever. But I didn't really have any like negative feelings towards her. But in the first, I guess that's just like the difference in like how they wrote the characters, but yeah.
Yeah. Anise, do you have any negatives besides last 20 minutes?
Well, I agree with the rest of these, but I didn't like the where the Radhika song was placed in this movie. I felt like it was kind of abrupt.
Where was
Yeah,
it?
I agree.
Oh, is that when his alter ego comes out? Or
Yeah.
No, that was a it was like a dream song kind of
Yeah, it's like
thing.
the imagination or whatever, right?
Laddu
Yeah,
scene.
I hate those songs.
Ladusina? Oh,
ఈ-
poisoning scene?
తను
No,
ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్
no,
చేస్తాను
no, not Laddu scene. They're in the bedroom or something.
అదే
Like they
షీ బేసిక్లీ బ్రేక్స్ ద సాంగ్ టెల్లింగ్ దట్ నాకు ఒక ఐడియా వచ్చింది లడ్డూలో విషం పెట్టి చంపుదాం
oh yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Dude, the
గుడ్
problem
సాంగ్ రాంగ్
problem problem with Tillu Squared is it relies so much on Tillu 1. Other problem. If you go in, you'll have fun, you'll enjoy it. It's only 2 hours. You'll laugh and stuff, but if you look at it like as a reviewer, it owes like it references the first one too much almost. And the directors on a cinema పెట్టేశారు. Like they literally kept the main sequences of the first one. Like I thought that was cool, but then they keep bringing it up. And we're like, it's okay to form your own soul, right? Like, obviously in Tollywood we don't like Karthikeya 2, I guess, didn't really bring up the first one at all. Even it wasn't direct, but just like an example of what they could have done. Um, that's the only
Yeah,
sequel I can think of.
I didn't like the amount of times they not referenced, but showed like scenes from the first movie, like in the first half.
Yeah.
Like every single time that, like for example, Tillu goes into the room that Rohit was killed in, like the bedroom of the house and everything, and they flash
Yeah,
back to it and show like all that stuff. It's like, okay, you can do that once, but doing it like 3, 4 times is like a little too much because yeah, the audience has already seen the film. They know it's connected. Like we understand. So I don't think they need to show us like, that many times. But yeah, I did like the credits. Like I think if they just kept it to the credits of like rehashing the first movie and then maybe once showed like a scene of the first movie, it would have been fine, but they did it too much.
yeah.
బట్
I
ఆ
didn't.
రిఫరెన్సెస్ మేడ్ ఇట్ అ హిట్ మూవీ కదా పర్సనలీ వీ మైట్ నాట్ లైక్ ఆల్ దోస్ రిఫరెన్సెస్ కానీ జనరల్ పాపులర్స్ హు డి నాట్ లైక్ కనెక్ట్ విత్ డీజే టిల్లు వన్ లైక్ దాట్ దే లైక్ ద రిఫరెన్సెస్ అంటే ఇప్పుడు వీఆర్ లైక్ ఆల్ ఐ థింక్ మోస్ట్ ఆఫ్ అస్ లైక్ డీజే టిల్లు వన్ అ లాట్ కదా సో
Yeah,
వీ హ్యావ్ సర్టన్ ఎక్స్పెక్టేషన్స్ ఫర్ టూ అండ్ సర్టన్ క్రిటిక్ ఫర్ ఇట్ కానీ జనరల్ పాపులేషన్ కి దే లైక్ ద ఫ్యాక్ట్ దట్ వన్ వాస్ రిఫరెన్స్డ్ రెగ్యులర్ గా మూవీలో
I mean, in our theater, even before the movie was started, when it was the credits and it was just the first movie scene, people were still laughing. Like just the like pictures of him and Radhika talking, they were still laughing. Every single time a DJ Tillu one reference was put up, like they were still laughing. So clearly it works with the like audiences. They wanted that, they come for that. But I agree from like a movie standpoint, it kind of like it dampens it by the fact that they're kind of so dependent on the first movie.
Yeah.
that was crazy. You talk like a professor,
Dude, there's
like a
also
like a Tollywood professor. Yeah.
It's a commercially good decision. మూవీలో తీసుకున్న అన్ని వాళ్ళు వాట్ ఎవర్ దే డిడ్ దే మేడ్ ఇట్ టు బి అ కమర్షియల్ హిట్ నాట్ ఫర్ ద ఫ్యాన్స్ రియల్లీ ఐ గెస్
Yeah. I think it's just a sequel. That's the only problem. It's burdened by the first one. If this was DJ Tillu Squared, if it was a separate movie, I think I would have liked it. But the fact that it's a sequel, it's just expectations aren't that. So you're already expecting so much. And I think that's the reason half of us were disappointed was because we expected it to match the first one.
But I
I
think
know like Sai did too. Yeah.
no, but I feel like overall, like as a standalone sequel, like I think it did its job. I think it did its job really well too. Like I think as a sequel, it's like one of I don't know what other movies have sequels like that were a hit, but I think this is one of the few movies that even the sequel came out to be really good. Like everyone, I came out entertained. Like saw Kick 2 shit. Like Sardar Gabbar Singh shit. So like all these other ones are just after like the first ones are good and then the expectations are so high and then the second one just comes out to be shit. So right, that's what I was thinking. I think like of the movies I've seen that are like within TFI as sequels, I think this is one of the best, arguably. But I don't know which. I also can't think of anything else that's a sequel and good. So
Yeah, and like I said, like I think it's very, very close to the first one. But the first one, like the experience that I've had watching it, I think it just nothing will match that ever because it was very unexpected and like I didn't think it would be that great or that crazy or that funny. And DJ Tillu as a character, like we didn't know a guy like that before. Like we haven't seen really movies with a characterization like that before. So it's just so fresh and new and funny that nothing, even Tillu 3, if it's like amazing, it's not gonna live up to the first one just because that experience of watching it is like so great from just watching it for the first time. But I think as a film, like it does come really close to the first one, which is crazy because to repeat what you did in the first time, like that magic, it's tough. And like if to do that is like a crazy job. So good
Yeah.
job to Starboy Sidhu.
I think that also kind of partakes into like the way how we experience the second one too, right? Like for me and Gotham, for example, like we experienced in the crowd, which wasn't as entertaining. Like the first time when we went, it was me, Gotham, and Cut Out that we went, and then I was going in like, dude, what the fuck is this movie? It's called DJ Tillu, like it's a scam. And then I saw like the title song where this guy's just dancing with like a bunch of guys wearing like the saris and stuff. I was like, all right, this movie's crazy. So it was like we went in with no expectations, but we had a good crowd. But like and we had a bunch of crowd with like the energy was there, but I feel like this time it wasn't. I feel like all of us watched it in our own different like environments. I feel like Anise probably saw it in like the proper Indian environment with like the crowd and everything, right? So like I don't know, it just felt like the viewing like how we saw the first one was different and like the viewing experience was different for the first one. So I feel like that might also partake a little bit into why we thought like the first one was so much more hype than the second one. But yeah.
Ace, did you watch the first one in India or like in a packed crowd situation?
No, I watched the first one on my laptop. That's why I didn't really like it as much. I didn't have like a good
Yeah.
ambience and environment for it.
I think all of
Yeah,
us here watched it in a theater. And so like we had a different experience from the first and second one, judging by the theater experiences too.
Like I know some people that have seen it on like AHA and stuff later thought that it wasn't as great crazy as like people thought, like people the reviews came out and stuff. Because I would say like, oh dude, it's awesome, like everything, but then like they would watch on AHA for the first time and they'd be like, we thought it was okay, like it wasn't that great.
I was the exact opposite. In the theater, when I first watched the first one, I thought it was okay. But then when I watched it later, I thought it was insane. So like the same thing might happen to this one too, honestly. Like I might watch it later on like Netflix or whatever, and it might be like insane. But
I think
yeah,
Tillu Square has more rewatch value than DJ Tillu.
Yeah, because I feel like for Tillu Square, there's so much like where he just
Universal
goes on
jokes.
fire too. He
Yeah.
goes on fire and he has like 10 comedy, like just jokes left, right, and center. And and everyone's laughing at the first one. You can't even hear the other ones
No.
following up. So that's why I want to watch it again.
These are
Watch
second joke
the
now.
GT. Yeah, so now you understand the second one and the third one, then understand like for all the jokes.
The
But yeah,
thing is, in the first one, I never stopped laughing.
yeah.
Even during the memory loss phase, which some people didn't connect to, I was dying. When he walks around with that stupid teddy bear everywhere, like I was laughing throughout. For the second one, there was like a good 20 minutes where a smile didn't even leave my face. So rewatch for me is like a movie I can watch kind of and just like enjoy through and through. But comedy is subjective, right? Like a movie like Mad. I don't know if you've seen Mad, Anis. Um, you have? Okay, okay. Did you like it?
I don't know what you're gonna say about it, but I really like Mad.
yeah,
Yeah, we
Matt
all
is
like it.
insane.
We all liked it.
But
Okay, good.
we've run into people that, don't get its humor, don't get its appeal. So it makes sense. Like humor is subject. Like no one's to say.
Yeah, I experienced
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
I was just talking about you, by the way. I don't know anyone who dislikes it.
No,
Wait,
I
Nicole, you
love it.
don't like Mad?
No, no.
No,
I
no,
liked
not
it.
Saw
him.
it with some people
Oh,
there
okay.
and like they did not
They
enjoy
didn't
it.
like it. I'm not even gonna cap. I judged the fuck out of them. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? How did they not like that? Like that
Yeah.
was comedy was crazy, everything. But I don't know. They were looking more so for a story. I was like, it's a comedic movie. Like
That's a mad, but there's no story in it. Absolutely
yeah,
no
I mean, like
story.
it's like some of those movies that you don't really look at the stories. Like you go to like Dumb and Dumber and be like, oh yeah, like the story of this movie is insane. Like you just look at like okay, like it's funny. Like Hangover, you just look at it like oh, it's funny. Like you're not taking a deep dive into like the story of it. So I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. I
Hangover
think,
actually has a good story. But yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, but that's not the first thing you think of when you think of Hangover. You're thinking like, oh, okay, like Bradley Cooper's like being an idiot. Like you know what I mean? Like the
I thought you were
doctor.
about to say something else.
Bradley Cooper is the least idiotic one in all the
Oh,
movies.
it's not Brad. I can't
That's
think of
that
the other.
moron Zach Galifianakis.
No, I
He's
forgot who's like the doctor.
Ed
oh
Ed
And
Ed
Helms.
Helms.
and
Yeah,
John.
yeah.
Yeah, that guy. He was, oh my goodness, he was insane.
Andy from The Office. Yes.
Andy from Office. Yeah, I just didn't know the character's name, so I was like, okay, I don't know. Like, I can't say Andy from The Office. This guy from this. Like,
Doug. I think his name is Doug.
his name is Doug.
Dude, I need Sidhu and Naveen and Nani to make a comedy movie together, bro.
Oh yeah,
Those
for
three,
sure.
yeah, those three
I
have
would
to
straight
collab.
up be
I
like,
think they should do like a Zindagi Na Milegi or like Hangover, like that type of movie. It
Yeah,
would
they
be
should.
crazy.
Except only problem is not a single one of those three is classy enough to play Hrithik Roshan.
yeah,
But that's why
Nani.
that's exactly why it wouldn't be classy. It would be like a
Nani would be
Nancy thing.
Nani, Naveen Polishetty, and
Naveen
Sidhu.
Polishetty.
Zindagi Na Milegi to bar in Telugu would be like Malli life radu.
Yeah, no,
Some crazy,
No, I
crazy
think instead
dialogue.
of Nani, you could put VD in there, and VD
No,
would be
no, I
like
don't-
No,
next.
no, shut
VD
up.
wouldn't
Get
be-
No,
that.
video would ruin
I
it.
hate VD. I
he
hate
wouldn't
Vijay
put as much
Deverakonda.
comedy, but I'm
I
trying
hope Family Star is a disaster.
I think given the
Sorry,
promotion,
Anis, if you're a fan. I can't stand that dude.
I'm not a fan. I hate him too. Sorry to all the Vidi fans.
Damn, I
Starboy is
actually
still
like him.
better than the Vijay
They're
Deverakonda.
all Starboy fans from now on.
అసలు మీనింగ్ ఏంటి స్టార్ బాయ్ కి
ఏదో ఒకటి యంగ్ టైగర్ అంటే మీనింగ్ ఏముంది, పవర్ స్టార్ అంటే మీనింగ్ ఏముంది,
no
సూపర్
power
స్టార్
star
అంటే
okay
meaning
okay
ఏముంది?
of the two actors you chose you didn't
I
choose
feel like
mega
Power Star
power
is the
star
worst nickname, right?
ఆ మెగా పవర్ స్టార్ అసలు అది రిడిక్యులస్ గా
Oh.
రిడిక్యులస్.
no a global
It's a
star
global
now.
star now. It's not mega
Global
power
star.
star anymore. Yeah.
global.
Who is the global star? Is that Ramcharan?
I'm
Yeah.
sure.
ఇది ఎప్పటి నుంచి?
I thought it was
అది తను
better.
Next
పెట్టుకున్నాడు
movie,
తను.
Changer.
I think for Game Changers they put it as global star.
కాదు గౌతమ్ ఆస్కర్ like they won Oscar కదా global star అయ్యాడు.
Yeah. Yeah, you never
What a
know,
Zoo
you know.
Junior NTR side actor in RRR. He's just young tiger.
ఇంకా ఇంకేనా
Sorry,
40
Nicole.
వచ్చాక కూడా
That's the truth. NTR was a side actor in RRR.
కాదు,
Hey, Nicole, Nicole.
బాలయ్య బాబు అన్నట్టు ఎన్టీఆర్ ఎప్పటికీ యంగ్ టైగరే.
Dude,
Even
power
in the
star is
late-
because
Yeah.
kallu juice you know like the power just comes out of his eyes. It's like the
Okay.
most accurate one. Better than yeah, Anger Tiger is crazy.
But I
Midnight
don't
Patrol.
think they use it on screen, right? Young Tiger. We just talk
No,
about
they
it.
do.
No,
I
they
think.
don't
I
use
think
it
they
anymore.
do.
They didn't
Oh,
use
really?
it for RRR because it's RR, but I think they used it in Arvind Sameta. I'm like very positive they did.
No, they don't. They
They
just say
definitely use
NTR.
it in
Really?
in
They
like
don't.
Yamadonga when they bring out like a
Yeah,
like a
they use it
tiger
in
and shit.
Yamadonga and shit. But now in Arvind Samhita, it just says NTR. It doesn't say any tagline.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I love this new generation of actors. Like I think Vishwak Sen, Naveen Polishetty, Sidhu Janagadda, Advisesh, all these guys are bringing the future forward. Um, I would put VD in there, but he hasn't done anything since Taxi Wall
Naveen
I like.
used to do good movies, I think.
See,
Yeah,
but
but
no,
Naveen,
no,
these guys
I'm
all
gonna
also
Anudeep is doing that.
Huh?
Naveen's gonna be insane.
the thing
Naveen
is
is
all
good
of
now.
these guys write their own movies too, which is none of the tier ones. As far as I'm aware, only Pawan Kalyan has written his own movies.
సర్దార్ గబ్బర్ సింగ్ ఇలాంటి
Johnny,
Johnny.
yeah. I'm not saying he's a good writer, but he's written his own works.
Okay, yeah, then
Which the-
I'll write too. I think NTR and these guys can write too, but it's not.
If
But they
NTR
but
wrote a movie, it'd be like fucking Samba again. You want to watch
Wait,
that
Nicole,
shit?
what did you think about NTR when he went to the Oscars like interview and he was like, "You never know, you never know." Like, what'd you think about that?
అదిరిపోయింది అసలు అసలు ఆ తేజస్
You never know with Rajamouli.
truly inspirational. That's what I was thought. That's why I wanted to go to I wanted to go to LA just to like experience like this is where he said that iconic dialogue.
వైబ్స్ కోసం.
This vibe.
It's the
Even
it's
the
the
aura.
mecca. It's the mecca of what is it? Filmmaking or something.
Mecca of
It's-
filmmaking, yeah.
It's the
But I
Mecca
didn't even
of
know what Mecca was
filmmaking.
until he said that. I was like, wow. What is Mecca?
Wait, Akhil, you were saying something about Tillu 3 and Tillu 4?
Tillu 3 గురించి he చెప్పాడు ఇంటర్వ్యూలో సూపర్ హీరో మూవీ ట్రై చేద్దామని and I'm just like what are you saying?
Are you serious? I thought Abi was just saying that.
Yeah.
Like,
No, dude.
No,
Like,
I
He was
saw that.
saying
I saw that in the
dude.
interview
I don't
too.
think it's gonna be legit. I don't think that's gonna happen.
Yeah,
He's-
there's no
I-
way
I
they do
think-
that.
it's like
Yeah.
KGF 3. They're just milking the hype right now. No one's actually gonna work on that shit.
2 కి ఇంకా
Um,
హైప్ క్రియేట్ చేస్తున్నారు బేసిక్ గా.
But my point is these people that write their own scripts, there's so much potential going forward. This new age, we can't even call them young because they're mid-30s because they're not like
Just be young until the old guys retire, which will never happen.
yeah, and they're not nepotism. All these guys worked to get to where they are now. I don't know about Vishwak.
I don't think they're actually that young either, low key.
They're not young. That's what I'm
They're
saying.
not
Like
young. They're all
35.
mid-30s. Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't have a 20-year-old actor in tall like maybe the Didi and Mad, but I don't know if
The
he
guy
has
in
a-
Hanuman,
Sangeet.
That
Oh,
guy's
hey,
like
What about the guy in
30, dude. The
Tejas
Hanuman guy's
Sacha.
like 30.
Hanuman
Yes,
guy's
forgetting
30?
Anand
Yeah.
Tejas
Devarkonda.
Sacha's 30?
ఆనంద్ ఎవరికొండ
Yeah.
ఎవడాడు వాగింది
Me, Anand
Oh.
Devarkonda, he's pretty young.
The Anand Devarakonda.
He's not young. I don't think he's young. I think he's 30.
Yeah, we don't have any young stars then. That's crazy.
ఇప్పుడు
So
సాయి వెళ్తే
see,
ఇండస్ట్రీలోకి అప్పుడు
నువ్వన్నావు కదా
Bro,
సర్లే.
నువ్వే వెళ్ళు
Who?
Oh,
The
damn.
guy from Hanuman.
Oh.
He's 29. Yeah, yeah,
Sacha.
30, 29 or whatever.
okay.
that's
Oh,
crazy.
Vishwak Sen is 29. Wow, he's aging terribly. Anyways, all these young
Oh,
guys.
also Vishwak did write his own thing. Falknama Das was his first, and he wrote and
Oh,
directed.
that was a remake, but yeah.
But
Yeah,
still,
No, I'm
Human, right?
saying
You're
I
right,
don't
you're
know
right.
if I don't know if Vishwak is Nepo or non-Nepo.
How?
I don't think he is because from what I remember, like he self-produced Falknama Das.
You know,
Yeah,
he bought
his
he bought
family's
his
rich,
role.
that's it.
Yeah, I think he's
He
just
bought
rich.
he bought his character in Inagarani Kaimandi.
He did?
He purchased the role actually with 8 lakhs.
How do you know that?
But he's still a good actor. He gave life
How
to
the
the
No,
hell-
I know. He was the best choice for that role, as far as I'm aware. So it's not like
My
Alia
point-
Bhatt who just
Wait,
buys the fuck.
wait, let's backtrack for a second. How the hell do you know
ఆ
that?
డీల్ బ్రోకర్
I have my sources. I have my sources.
విశ్వక్ సేన్ కి తరుణ్ భాస్కర్ ని పక్క పక్కన కూర్చోబెట్టి ఇట్ట ఇట్ట చూపించాడు అఖిల్ 8 lakhs అని అక్కడ ఆప్షన్ జరిగింది రోల్ కోసం
Dude, yeah, Vishwak Sen, dude, India's most versatile actor. You seen Gami?
Bro, what did you just say?
No, no, no. I
Wait,
think
have you guys seen
Gami,
Hit?
you'll get
Did you guys go to the premiere for that?
Yeah.
unfortunately.
గామి
Wait, that's the one that gave us the most views of our
Bro,
video.
there's no way you actually mean that.
No, I don't think.
Okay,
But
good
okay,
shit.
my point is
wait
that
wait sorry is Gami good or not
No, we didn't like it.
It's very unique, but I don't think
It's
it's
unique, yeah. But I
It's
don't
unique.
it's a nicely polished rod, is what we called
Yeah,
it. It's
that's
like
what we
very
call
gorgeous. It like
Nice.
glimmers in the sunlight, and then it's got a very
Actually-
sharp. Like
beautiful.
everything is
సగం
good.
డూప్లికేట్ చేసి
Yeah, everything is good until the like same move. I don't know. The final act is 50-50, depending on if you like it or not. It either makes or breaks
what
the
is
movie.
what is the genre
Thriller.
I don't think he
Good
knows.
question.
It was not even like a thriller.
Psychological thriller.
Yeah, like a thriller.
Psychological sci-fi thriller.
Yeah.
It's not sci-fi though.
No,
Or-
it's psychological. It's like psychological thriller.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's psychological thriller. There's no supernatural, I don't think, elements in it. But yeah, we can give the rating for the movie then. What we think out of 10. I thought it was a 7. I would give the first one like an 8. So I think it's just slightly less. I might have changed my number since we last recorded because I've had time to think about it. But still 7 is like a good watch.
I think like last time when we did it, I gave it an 8, and I'm gonna like stick by it. I think it's an 8. For comparison, like I think to the first one's a 9 out of 10, just because the first time experience of watching that character on screen was just better. But both of them had like similar issues with their story, which is why that one's a 9 and this one's an 8. But yeah, solid film. Loved it.
Yeah, I think I would give this an 8 as well. I think the first one I would give like a 8.5. It's almost there for me, but the last 20 minutes is what separates it from the first. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to watching OTT and seeing the jokes and really like listening to everything he says, because I think I missed some. There's a shit ton, so like I think it'll have some rewatch value for sure. But yeah, 8 out of 10 for me.
I'd probably give it a 6, but I thought the first one was an 8. But I mean, I gotta rewatch it too. Hopefully, I mean, I'm probably gonna like it more when I watch it later.
Was your main issue the jokes and story just didn't work for you? That's the
Yeah.
main thing. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, no, the jokes were good, but like overall, I'm just saying, like overall, I think it was like all right. It wasn't
Yeah,
bad, but
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I liked it, but I think I was because of the disappointment I felt, I'm in Buri's range, I'd say it's like a 6.5-ish.
Nicole, which number are you plagiarizing? Whose
Yeah,
ideas
that's
are
why I
you
wanted to go
stealing?
last.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, Anis, you can go. Because he's gonna steal one of our
I
numbers.
I'll give it an 8.5 I think I can forgive the last 20 minutes. It's okay that it didn't make sense.
It did the job.
Knuckle
Like
go.
it entertained us.
Mhm.
All right, you guys.
Yeah.
No, Gautam.
I give it a 7.5.
Ata, 0.5.
I want to give it an 8, కానీ 1 కి 9 ఇచ్చాను. So I don't wanna, I want to reduce it a bit more for 2, 7.5.
Okay,
What you want?
I'll do a 7.75. So it's a different number.
Oh
You guys didn't hear
my
yet.
God.
7.75. I think the first one was like a 9, but I'd say it's not an 8 because I feel like it did refer to a lot for the first movie, but then I also didn't have the same level of crowd experience that I did for the first one. So I'd say it's almost an 8, but it's not an 8. So 7.75. Like the number, Akil?
Round figure you guys up to an 8. It's fine.
Huh?
Yeah,
We round up here on Bevarse Bash.
Round down,
we
7.5.
round.
Oh.
Just like how we round our height if we're above like the half point. You know.
I think
But
I
yeah.
just mention one more. ఇంకో డైలాగ్ ఆ మూవీలో నాకు చాలా నచ్చింది ఏంటంటే లైక్ వన్ ఆఫ్ హిస్ అసిస్టెంట్స్ ద guy with the hair color
Marcus?
streak.
Marcus.
The other guy is Marcus, right?
No.
Oh, Marcus is the other dude, Laddu, or not Laddu, but like what's his name? I know what you're talking about. His other friend. There's like 2 of them.
Color ఒక streak
Are you talking about the
ఉంటుంది,
fat
red
guy with the
color.
glasses?
No,
Yeah,
that guy,
yeah,
that's
him.
Marcus.
Yeah.
No, that's not Marcus, I thought.
No,
No,
Marcus
that's not
is the guy
Marcus.
with the
other,
hair.
that's the other dude. The other guy.
Marcus is the guy with like the spike up hair.
Yeah. He's not talking about him. He's talking about the other guy, the
No,
fat
no,
guy.
I'm talking about the guy with the spiked up hair and the color streak.
Marcus. That's Marcus.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Okay,
Marcus then.
ఆ కార్లో ఉన్నప్పుడు ఒక డైలాగ్ ఉంటది. ఏందన్నా ఎప్పుడు కొత్త పొత్తి నీతో మంచిగా పేపర్స్ ఉన్న డాక్యుమెంట్లు ఉన్న ల్యాండ్ వద్దా, ఎప్పుడు లిటిగేషన్ ల్యాండే కావాలి మనకి. Really like that thing.
I like yeah.
The comparison relations
పెద్ద ముద్ద.
legal land.
Dude, this is one part when he's talking with Radhika and or the actual Radhika, like Neha Shetty. And she was asking him, like, why don't you go ahead and do this plan? Like, you know how to kill people, like you can go ahead and do it. And then he was explaining to her, like, Adi chala Gali's plan.
Yeah.
Sunun compare.
You know what I didn't understand is for like the second half, he looked at Anupama and kept on calling her Radhika. And like she had no like objection to that. Like
He's just
you
like,
would be
what the
like
hell
this
is going
close
on?
and be like Radhika, Radhika, Radhika. And it's like her name is Lily, right? Like I don't know why you're calling her Radhika, and she's just
Oh, he
okay
explained
with it.
that. He's like, you guys are all Radhikas, the ones that like cheat me and stuff.
Yeah. Dude, I don't think they said that the Radhika Institute of Technology dialogue.
Oh,
You
they
guys-
didn't. They
They
didn't.
didn't, right? It was only in the
Oh, I
like,
think they
No,
did.
they did.
Yeah.
No, they
No,
did.
it's only in the
Oh, it-
video song. It's only in the
it's
video.
only in the
No,
video.
they also did it in the actual movie too.
Mm.
Because remember when Radhika and him go to like the whatever, I don't know if it's like a fucking, I don't know what the building is, but both of them, I think like after she ends up finding out that like, oh, like she wants him to kill him, like initially tells him the entire plan after like she saves him and shit. You know what I'm talking about? After she saves him, goes
The
like
second half
to the
episode-
courtyard or whatever. It's like a courtyard type of thing.
That
And
was in the song. That's the beginning of the Radhika song in the video song.
in the
I don't
video,
know.
That's supposed to go just in a cool.
No, I do think that మూవీలో ఎక్కడ ఉంది అది సెకండ్ హాఫ్ లో.
It might be there. Yeah, it might be there.
Well, it wasn't before the song, like how it is in the promo or on YouTube.
Dude, if you used even like 1% of this on school, you could have been the next like like Bill Gates. Sharp memory, but nowhere in use for studying or anything useful.
no, I mean I just remember because we saw it like what 3 days ago or so. So
Yeah.
I like the Piles episode when the doctor is just hanging around with them in the lobby.
ఆ తర్వాత అనుపమ వచ్చి నేను ప్రెగ్నెంట్ అని చెప్తే ద డాక్టర్ ఇస్ లైక్ ఇప్పుడు మెమరీ లాస్ యాక్ట్ చేస్తానికి మంచి ఛాన్స్ వచ్చింది మళ్ళీ. And Tillu
That
is
doctor is crazy. I'm glad they brought him back.
Tillu is
They
like
said some-
అన్ని ముందే ప్లాన్ చేసుకోవాలి, ఇప్పుడు అంటే అవ్వదు.
They're like, "Asal yala pencharavindi," and it's like, "Ah, nen penchala," or some shit, right?
that was crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy.
నేను కూడా కొడుకు కదే ఒక మగవాడి తండ్రిగా చెప్తున్నా నేను
Your dad had so many killer dialogues. She's like, "Kuchoni uncle." He's like, "Kuchoni namma." He's like, "Pratyod." Like everyone's being overly nice to him.
The raw dialogue was crazy though. In the car when he's explaining to him, he's like,
That
"Gosh,
long
I could ride
iron
it
stick
if I
got shoved up my ass.
Tillu is like Sidhu is the star of the movie, కానీ every side actor is so good at the dialogue they give out in the movie.
Yeah.
I wish
They
we
all
got
play
more of
off
his
of
dad.
him. They all
And
play off.
Anupama is the only bad side actor in the movie compared to everyone else.
That's only because she's the only one that doesn't really riff off of him.
Hmm.
Because she has like a authoritative figure over him, like, oh, you have to do what I say. But all the other characters like share some sort of like banter with him, like his dad, Marcus, like any of those characters. So that's why we
Anupama's
find them entertaining.
Yeah.
Anupama's purely in this movie to drive up like literally the glamour quotient. This is why 9 heroines walked out of this movie. Like they looked at Sidhu and they're like, hell no, I'm not kissing that for like 10 minutes.
Wait, who walked out?
Srilila walked out.
Meenakshi
Um,
walked out.
I think
Meenakshi
Miyagi
walked
was
out.
in
I
consideration
think
I don't
too.
think
Pooja
they
Hegde was even
walked out.
considered.
Movie.
They asked them
They
to
asked him.
yeah, but then I guess they saw the script. They basically saw like how many times they have to make out with Sidhu, and they're like, it's cap.
They looked at him and they were like, dude, can we get like ugly Sage? Like a body double or some shit? And they're like, no. But yeah, I think one man show, if you like first one, you'll like the second one. Sorry, if you go in with entertainment, I think you'll like it. But if you know, if you think like story is important to you, then you won't really like it that much. But then again, you don't go into comedy movies expecting story. My only thing was I wish they ended it better because I always say this, kada. When a movie ends badly, it sucks because I leave the theater feeling annoyed. You know, if a movie starts bad and ends great, then I can forgive it for the initial bullshit. That's the only problem I had, but good movie. I think all of us said it's a good enough sequel. Even Sai, who like liked it the least, said it's still a good movie, but it's just not like, it doesn't stand up, live up to the first one, right?
Yeah, one DJTలు one is perfection. Story ఉంది, comedy ఉంది, all actors are there, side actors ఉన్నారు, అందరికి good amount of screen time ఉంది, songs are in the right place and everything. Tillu to story, it's like you said, entertainment movie అది, not
Yeah.
story based movie.
Thing will live up to
Yeah.
Alagura.
But that's what we got. Yeah. If you guys want to collaborate or follow us on socials, please do. Thanks for coming on, Anis, Nakul, Gautam, Sai. Holy shit.
Please like and
Is this
subscribe.
the most? I'm
Hmm?
sorry. Is this
No,
the
you can
most
say.
amount of people you guys had?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
But it was so chaotic.
so. We used to do it in Nakul's basement with like shit sound quality, but it would be
అందరం ఒకే phone లోకి.
yeah.
Yeah,
No,
we'd
they
all
would
record
literally
on
Y'all
push
mic.
just
the
sit in a
phone.
circle, put like a phone, the speaker, the voice thing
We were
on,
so
and just
lazy.
right in front of everyone.
I was on a bed. They were like 10 feet away. Sparky was doing circles around the speaker, dropping shit left and right. But we didn't have Abhinav then, and we didn't have a guest. So maximum we had was 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. So we didn't even review the movie. Like there's probably 6 minutes of review in here. But I like big groups. We should run this back again. Oh, it's still recording. Okay. You can stop the recording.
All right. See you guys.
Yeah.